I was in Afghanistan for the past 8 months, and then all of a sudden, when things changed and the Taliban came to Kabul and they took over, I was left with no choice but to leave Afghanistan, and we left in a very very uh, you know difficult manner. It was a very challenging for me and for my fiance, uh, because I have been besides the fact that I'm a singer, I've also been a very outspoken women's rights activist in Afghanistan. And especially for me, it was difficult because by the time we wanted to leave, there was like Taliban checkpoints all over the place. And we were very scared to be caught alive. And the major challenge was, the journey from home to the airport. That's where the problem was. And then, but fortunately, we made it to the airport and we were evacuated by the American Army airplane, a C-17. There was my fiance and I with a few other 100 people who were all like American passport holders, and we
What,
were, I guess, the lucky ones.
what did you see around you when you reached airport? We saw some terrible scenes. A lot of Afghan children, old people were all there. Can you give us a blow by blow account? And can you just tell us, did you face any Taliban during the checkpoints?
It was absolute chaos, just as you see the videos. That's what I actually experienced physically when I was there. So basically, my flight was on the 15th of August. Actually, I was booked on a commercial flight, but unfortunately, that's the day when Taliban took over Kabul. So my flight was like at 8 p.m. and then we made our way to the airport, and Taliban were not there until then. So we get to the airport, and the airport's like filled up with like thousands and thousands of people. Everybody's trying to get out. As you said, small children, like they're piled on top of each other and everything. But still, there was no Taliban, and we were hoping that we will be checked in and we will leave by 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, within a span of a few hours, by the time it was like 5, 6 in the evening, we heard gunshots. And while we are inside the airport, we heard gunshots, and then suddenly the entire uh, airport staff, including the security, they all left, and they left people just like that. So people were all scared, and they started rushing inside the airplanes, and the airplanes was like filled with thousands of people. As a result of which, even the pilots ran away, and the plane couldn't take off. So then we had no choice but to plan to come out of the airport, because we were hearing news that Taliban, they are close and they're going to walk inside the airport any minute. And for me, I couldn't stay there anymore, obviously, because I was thinking, if they come inside the airport, they're obviously going to check our identities and they're going to find out who I am. So this is like around 9 or 10 o'clock at night that they decided to come out of the airport again. So unfortunately, there's only one road that can take you outside the airport, and we had to walk through that road to get outside. And while we walking out, hundreds of more people are walking inside, and they're just terrified and scared, and they're just running with their small kids in their hands and stuff like that. So at the end of this road, this is where I actually was bumped into a few Taliban, and they were actually shooting. They were like shooting in the air because they were trying to like scatter people around. All these people who were trying to like get inside, they didn't want them to let them get inside, and they were just shooting around. And I just, we're just walking, and I see a bunch of them, and I look. I even saw a senior Talib who was standing in the middle with his hands behind him, and he was just really like scanning people, because amongst us on that airplane that we were supposed to take off, there was a few official, government people, a few very important people on that flight as well. And so this is why they were checking to see if they can find them, amongst the crowd. And then fortunately, I was covered in a hijab, and I was covering my face as well, and you could only see my eyes. And luckily they did not recognize me amongst the people, and then somehow we just got out of there, and then the next day we attempted for the airport again.